Okay, we're ready.
I'd like to call our county board meeting to order for November and have you join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. Hope everybody's well. We'll start with the roll call by the clerk, please.
Farnham.
Here.
Lorenzen. Here. Luddington.
Here.
Patrick.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
Chittick.
Here.
And Voigt.
Present. First order of paper business is to have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted on October 10th, 2018. You gentlemen have had those for a couple of days. What's your pleasure? Or do you have questions? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to approve as presented. John moves. Phil seconds. Assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They do carry. Thank you. Next item is claims against the county. You've had those in your possession for a couple of days and electronically for more. Do you have any questions on the claims as presented? Hearing none, I'd accept a motion to approve the claims against the county, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
That's Derek and John, please. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. County board member claims. Likewise, you've had those. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Dan moves.
Second.
Andy seconds. Any further questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are carried. At this time, I would open up the meeting for public comment. We allow 5 minutes. Please identify yourself. Are there any public comments this morning? Hearing none, we'll move on to the Highway Department resolutions. Did you want to talk about, can we tie them all together, or are they?
The tarps you could probably tie together.
Okay, well, the first couple of resolutions, the resolution appropriating funds for the payment of the county engineer's salary stands on its own. We discussed that on Monday morning at the study session, and remember that we are sharing with the state the engineer's salary out of MFT. And we have to enter an agreement. We'll let the state know what we're doing, and then they approve it, and then those payments come back to the highway department. So, are there any questions of our engineer on this particular resolution? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve that resolution. Phil moves.
Second.
Derek seconds. Any further discussion? Augie, when you're ready, please.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Luddington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
It is approved. Resolution next, authorizing responsible agencies to post roads to 10 tons effective January 5th, 19 through April 5th of 19. We talked about that. Do you have any further comments on that, Aaron?
Answers questions.
I just want, we talked about timeline for particular roads.
Yes.
Is that something that we can just,
Revisit.
an additional resolution later on?
Yes.
Okay.
You have
Yeah.
90 days by statute. You can post any road for 90 days anytime during the year.
So you can modify this resolution or
And potentially, I mean, if Anita arose, you could post a road twice in the same, just once a year for 90 days. So, got it. Okay.
But can you post it twice for 45? Is it 90 days?
Good question. Where's Mark? Call Mark.
I know, don't call me.
I'd have to get back with you.
We will do it in accordance with the laws and our needs. How's that, John?
Sounds good.
How's that,
Wheels
buddy?
almost came off the bus on that one.
I'd entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Dan moves. Andy seconds. Assume you're ready to vote.
I said that well.
Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Was that Patrick or Ludington?
That was
I said
Patrick.
It was his finger and my voice.
Right.
Oh, okay, I couldn't hear and see.
And the last time I switched it and gave it to Phil, so I'm gonna rotate
Sounds like
it.
your
All right.
Thursday morning.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
It is approved. Thank you, gentlemen. Next, a resolution authorizing the county board chair to sign an intergovernmental agreement with Kansas Township for snow removal and ice control on County Highway 12. Any questions of the engineer on this? This is another one that we discussed Monday morning.
Assume the road commissioner's okay with it?
Yes. We've done this before. Just the last time we went over to Kansas was 7 years ago.
They're compensated for it, you just
Yes.
trade.
Yeah, we have a study that says this is how much it costs per mile to study, and then we end up trading it for cold mix and seal coating and things like that. Credits. It's not-
I'll make that motion.
Carl moves. Phil seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
It is approved. Okay, we have two resolutions now on TARP. The first one is for application for a portion of CH 20 Grandview Road. And then, well, we'll take them one at a time. Do you want to comment on
The
that?
only comment I'd make is to Augie and to the board. These were due in the district yesterday, and they're doing Springfield tomorrow, and I know you're busy with election and stuff, but I'd really like to have these signed and in my hands so that I can.
So you're gonna take them tomorrow, hand deliver them tomorrow to Springfield?
No, but I'd like to have them today so I can electronically if possible.
Yeah, that's,
I know,
we'll work it out.
thank you.
We'll do the best we can with what we got.
Yes, thank you. That's my only comment.
That's a lot of confidence there.
Or we could,
All right, yeah, or we could table it.
no.
That we don't have to mess with. No, I'm just kidding. A little levity there, sorry. Motion to approve this resolution for CH 20.
So moved.
Derek moves, Carl seconds. Mr. Clerk, when you're ready.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
Okay, it is carried. Resolution of support of the Truck Access Route Program application for CH 16, Conalog Road. Again, same thing.
Phased, yeah, these are both phased. Grandview's, the 3/4 mile section from 16 into Grandview. Conlog's the roughly 3 mile section from 16 to around 400. The Grandview Road, we're hot mixing. We're planning to have hot mixed, and the Conlog Road, we're planning to do a day labor with cold mix.
Questions? Could I have a motion from one of you gentlemen?
So moved.
John moves,
Second.
Carl seconds. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk?
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
It does carry unanimously. Aaron, we'll be back to you later in case you have any other comments. Okay, number 9, resolution authorizing chairman to enter into an investment grade audit agreement with SmartWatt Energies, Inc. Mr. Committee Chairman, do you want to lead the discussion on this? I'm not sure where you guys are at. I didn't mean that facetiously, I'm just, I don't know whether you want to table, whether you want to continue, what you want to do.
I think we want to table it, this particular meeting.
Okay, then is you making the motion to table?
I'll make a motion to table.
Is there a second? Phil seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
No.
It is tabled. And that's it. All right. Okay, next we have a resolution approving the annual budget and appropriation and tax levies for fiscal period beginning December 1st of 18, ending November 30th of 19. And what we're actually doing is we're approving a motion to set aside or set up the budget and levy for 18 and 19 to be laid over for public viewing until our meeting on 11/28 when we finally approve it. And that's the document right here. Okay, so we've discussed that, and hopefully, if there's further questions throughout the month, we can entertain them, but the final approval will be on the 28th at our next regular board meeting. We have 2 this month. So, any discussion or questions, or if you're ready, could I have a motion?
So moved.
Derek moves,
Second.
Carl seconds. Any further discussion? Okay, Mr. Clerk, when you have a,
Barnum.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Brunner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
does unanimously carry. Next, we have a resolution authorizing the treasurer to transfer $50,000 from the farm fund to the general fund. This is an annual housekeeping. There is a substantial amount of money left in that fund to cover taxes. We've looked at it as how we're gonna handle the payments for the projects that are coming up, and that all fits together. So I'd entertain a motion for that resolution.
Can I?
Yes,
ask a
absolutely.
question? So, the transfer from farm fund, that amount of money is after we have any, airport expenses with the expansion and all of that, since the
No.
farm and the airport tend to be tied, or?
No, it's just, there's a cash flow, and that fits into our cash flow, if that helps you. We're still gonna have to borrow money, but we have 3 funds to draw off of to either make payments or to pay for the costs of those contracts over the next few years. Does that answer the question?
It's been a
Go ahead.
point of friction, people have asked questions about that,
Yeah.
so.
And I'm just trying to get
Yeah,
clarification,
so
because I heard the
the
right.
county farm resides near and around the airport. The idea, or where the friction has been, is that that money should go to the airport. We have budgeted line items for the airport, so that's just how we do the housekeeping, so.
It's a
So
reimbursement
it's all
of
the
our.
money that we have, it's just a matter of what category you wanna put it in.
Right, I
whether
mean, I
we take
assume
it
that
from there.
some rural airports use that kind of farm fund strictly to fund the airport, and then, whatever's left over they may use for projects, we actually line it out. The airport has a budget, we have a farm, the farm money is used.
Goes into the general fund, and then the money for the airport budget comes back out.
And where we would run into trouble is if we did not fund the airport, and we took the money from the farm.
Or if we transferred $100,000 and only spent 72 on the airport, okay?
The budget, this year's budget for the airport was 76,000.
Okay.
Next year it's 68,000.
And it will be less money next year. I mean, the transfer will be less, but, so there we are.
No, that's fine, I just wanted some
No, and
clarification
I'm
on
glad
that.
that Derek clarified it a little better, because I kind of talk in circles sometimes, so, at any rate. Thank you. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Derek moves.
Second,
John seconds. When you're ready, sir.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Brunner. Chittick.
yes.
Next one is a resolution to participate in State's Attorney Appellate Prosecutor Program for next fiscal year. That's a housekeeping item within the State's Attorney's budget. He allots, I believe it's 8 or 9 grand.
7.
7, that's what I said, $7,000. And when he has, when we run into issues that he doesn't have a particular knowledge about or doesn't feel comfortable with, then that appellate program.
Conflict.
Right, or a conflict, then we have the availability of attorney to help us, okay? So, a motion to approve that resolution. Carl moves.
Second.
Andy seconds. I assume you're ready to vote. Mr.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Brunner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
It is approved, thank you. Next, we're appointing Jeff Goodwin to Edgar County Housing Authority Board. Any questions? Take a motion to approve. And Carl seconds. Dan and Carl. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? That's carried. We appreciate the service of all these folks that volunteer and serve on all these boards. It's a very good thing. Okay, next we authorize Patty McHenry to oversee restoration of Revolutionary War monument located on the southeast lawn of the courthouse at no cost to the county. Any questions on that? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Derek moves, Carl seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Next, we come to resolutions from Joseph E. Meyer, authorizing the chairman to execute deeds of conveyance on the following parcels: Linda Brewer, Corey Shanks, and Kimberly Shanks. Any questions on those? Motion to approve resolution?
So moved.
Dan moves, Andy seconds. When you're, assume you're ready to vote?
Farnum.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Get it.
Yes.
It is approved. Next, authorize Building and Grounds Committee to seek proposals for preliminary engineering to replace and/or relocate elevator in courthouse. Andy, do you have anything to say about that?
We're just gonna see if we can find.
Yeah.
The elevator's gotta be either A, fixed, or basically everything replaced in it. They make no parts to fix anything if it breaks, so, we're gonna explore whether it would be possible to move it or not, or fix it right where it is, one or the other.
Well, it'd give us base information to know how we can deal with the issue,
Right.
okay?
I mean,
Motion then from you?
I'll make a motion.
Andy moves,
Second.
Derek seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Next, let's make sure I didn't forget anything. Nope. Officer and department head reports. Aaron, do you have it? Sorry, I got hiccups. Any further things that you
Would
need
like
to?
the board to be aware that Josh Knight passed his professional land surveyor's test, so we have a professional land surveyor on staff now. And Prairie Edge is scheduled to open tomorrow. We're running into a little trouble with the high-pressure gas main and stop sign, so I think it's still on schedule, but Prairie Edge will be open by the end of the week, one way or the other.
Okay.
It's scheduled for tomorrow.
And you're still looking into information on costs for the transfer?
Yes.
Okay.
And we expect, Jeff and I expect to have a resolution of conveyance for the two properties that the county intends to develop at the next board meeting.
Okay, all right, and are you going to check with the state's attorney to see
Yes.
if his, so
Yes.
you will take the lead on
I will
that?
take the lead on it.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Any questions of the engineer? Thank you. Eric, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Jeff.
You have anything for us this
I do.
morning?
We just started our 10th EMT basic class. We have 9 students in it. We're finishing up one first responder class this month, and we have another first responder class starting in January. And that we have been approved by the college to be able to do our paramedic training program, so now we're in the process of doing all the things for the COAMS accreditation that Gary put a nice article in the paper for us last Saturday about. So that's a great thing for Edgar County to be able to train paramedics locally and hopefully keep people locally. And then we've been running, or ECSSA has been in business for 15 years now as a county provider,
Very good,
which is pretty awesome.
congratulations.
Thanks.
Any
I have
questions?
Yeah, or more of a comment. You know the whole deal we're going through with the Northern Edgar County Ambulance Service and, trying to come up with the contract to where if they would decide to come in with the county, we could do something. We're looking at options on contracting and everything else, and if you ever have any input or ideas on a good way to do that, I'm putting the invitation out.
I would be glad to discuss that with you because I have a lot of knowledge in the special service
Yeah,
area.
that's why I
because
mentioned it.
there's only a couple in the whole state that deal with ambulance services, and I've talked to a couple people about it. So if you all would like for me to come talk to you about more information, just let me know when and where, and I'll be there.
I'm sure some point we will.
Because I've talked with some of the board members from Northern Edgar County emails about it, and they've been given wrong information.
Okay.
And, I mean, it affects our business, so
Sure.
I'm pretty well up on the special service area law.
Eric, have they, the last thing, that was previously, they've been given wrong information?
Yes,
Right. took them up a.
right, he just said that he talked to you and got some new information.
Right, up to date,
Right.
all
Yeah, 'cause I
revised.
just saw him this weekend.
Very good.
So
I just wanted to make
And
sure
he just
I
said
hadn't
no.
compounded
He
the
said no.
problem.
The information he was given from their attorney was incorrect.
That's certainly incomplete, okay? So, and not up to date.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
so,
good.
so me and him had a long discussion this
Good.
weekend, and I told him we'd be glad to help you, and if you all have questions, we'll be glad to help you or answer anything else.
We figured that. Thank you, Eric.
And sometime this month, they're having a meeting.
Yeah, I asked Craig yesterday when the meeting was, and he wasn't sure when it was.
But you're going to.
Yes,
Okay.
I am going.
Okay.
And anybody, I can let the board know when that meeting is, so once I know, I will have Augie
Yeah.
electronically or whatever, or I'll call you and let you know. And you're certainly, I think that would be great if more of us go, okay?
And I will say, as a 911 board member, we had our study session Monday, and we are looking into what we pay the county for the dispatching services, because it's time to come up with that figure again and all that, so they were preliminary talking about that, because Carl wasn't at the meeting, but Carl normally helps him and Troy, and
Maybe you could help us, because Carl was not aware of that meeting.
it was posted, it was just it was our study session.
I
where we're looking
understand,
at-
but,
Yeah, I always get a letter.
I didn't know that, or I would've
well,
called.
no,
him.
I understand. I mean, I'm
But
not
yeah.
blaming you, I just,
Right.
we need to have an opportunity to be there.
Yeah.
And all the members should have an opportunity to be at these meetings,
Right.
okay?
Oh, I agree.
Oh, no, I
So,
figured you would.
It was, we were just talking about with the 911, that, the state is mandating a new dispatching software service but they haven't let out their RFPs, and it's gonna cost several $100,000s to upgrade to this system. Our system's at the end of its life cycle, we need to replace it, but we're not gonna do anything until the new laws, our RFPs are put out, so we can at least get the equipment that's gonna need versus spending the money and then having to re-spend money to replace things.
Okay.
But I'll let you know from now, Carl, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions of Eric? Glad you were here. I don't know whether you are, but I'm glad you were here.
Doesn't bother me,
No,
I know.
Tom?
Morning, really nothing to report. We do, I'm sure Derek will talk about what's coming up this week.
Cool. Everything looking nice, and
We've had some ups and downs.
well, I hope not too many downs. What does that mean?
Airplanes up, airplanes down.
He is making through.
Really?
What's the status on our sale or people putting in bids for?
No one bid as of Monday, so
Do
I
you-
received a call from the sheriff, and he said we can dispose of it as we're able.
Okay.
Which means,
Throw it in the trash.
well, so I'm just curious, with the initial bidder that just approached us, are they still interested, or what's the status?
He
of that?
acquired a light recently.
Elsewhere?
Well, there's another opportunity for you. Thank you. Angie?
I have a good staff in place, I'm very happy, and they're stepping up to the plate so I can get things done. I'm working on our e-file. E-file World has their own system, and then it's gonna be integrated with our case management system, so that if filings come in to us, we look it over, and if we accept it, then say like it's a new divorce case, it will come right into our system, and the system gives it a number rather than us having to manually input all the information. It just loads it right in. That is, it's been kind of a lengthy process to where right now I'm going through a huge spreadsheet and putting a price on anything that could be filed into our system. So it's been difficult, but it's been good because I've had to look at all the statutes and all the county board resolutions and compare, and it's crazy. Anyway, another thing, my people and I have been working at the soup kitchen on the first Monday of the month, so that's been a good, fun experience. I'm also working on, the state comptroller has a program, it's called iDrop. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's where our collections agency works with the comptroller's office and they intercept tax returns to pay for old fines and costs that are in collections. So I'm working on that. I think that's about it.
Okay. Any questions of Angie, please? All right, Monty.
Things are going nicely with probation. We're in the middle of a statewide assessment upgrade for probationers, so should be completed by the end of the year. Otherwise, going nice and smoothly.
Angie, I want to drop back. Oh, well, let's do. Are there any questions for Monty? Okay. Angie, I gave Augie's had the election. If you don't see some letters from our new auditor to sign, go over there and bug him because you've got to sign about your audit for the circuit clerk.
Okay.
Okay. So, and they're already exchanging information between our old auditor and our new auditor, and so the board knows that it is a year-to-year. Well, obviously, if we sign this year, we're committed to this year, and then year-to-year, but we're guaranteed the price for the next 3 years. Okay, which you guys asked me to check. All right, Augie, you've probably got nothing to talk about, do you?
Really, just rather not. Yeah, we had an election yesterday, and everything went well. The night ended up really good. 51% turnout, so that was good. Was hoping and thinking it was going to be larger than that, but at least we got 50%. So now we got to go through the process of waiting for mail ballots to come in, provisional ballots that were voted yesterday, those have to come in. So we still have some work ahead of us, plus, cleaning up, putting things away, getting ready to canvass the votes in a few weeks. So we're just busy doing that. So, and again, I want to thank everybody that helped in any way, shape, or form to make the election go as well as it did. Especially my staff. They did a very good job, very helpful, and we certainly could not have elections without the election judges and all those that volunteer to help me. So again, many thanks to all those people.
Thank you, Lucky.
Do you know off the top of your head, on a normal, like presidential election, how many percent would vote?
The last presidential, we had 60% turnout.
The midterm last time?
In the midterm last time, I'm sorry, I've lost that number. I'm going to venture to say it wasn't as good as it was yesterday.
I was thinking it was 38. My memory is.
I can find that out and let you know, but each of you got a summary sheet from last night? Okay.
This thing? No, got that.
If you have any questions, call me.
And eventually he'll give us a report and a cost per
Absolutely.
vote and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay?
And it's, 2 weeks before you officially file it?
Yeah, we have 2 weeks to allow all the other mail-in ballots to come
Right.
in, so.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought the time frame was.
Sorry.
Okay. Don is having, he had an appointment this morning. You all received this. I draw your attention to the notes at the bottom. And then the very last line that you can't hardly read, Don showing a little bit of his humor there. But remember that we've gotten virtually nothing in from the state of Illinois yet, so. And we do show that the sheriff and the circuit clerk have turned in 60 grand, but have not received it yet, so. Here in the next week or two, we'll see a lot of different things coming in, so.
That's good.
All right,
Jeff, excuse me.
yes, please.
There's a report that I left you.
Oh, yes, I've got to get that. Hang on, I've got it right here. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, for those of you planning to go to the pipeline meeting Tuesday the 13th, just a reminder, registration is at 5:30, dinner at 6, and the presentation of the program is at 6:30, and that's at the KC Hall in Paris. Okay? Let's see, the other thing is, several weeks ago, maybe it's been a month ago, we put in a grant notice, she put in a grant application to the state of Illinois that will bring us, and it has been awarded, $15,224.96. And those are for Homeland Security upgrades, and some of the upgrades she'd like to see, and I'm sure that she will come in and describe those to you here at the next meeting. But we did get approved for about a little over $15,000 grant for her department. Okay?
She's attending another meeting today, that's why she couldn't be here.
So I just want to let you know about that. Any other questions or things I can find out from any department?
What was the grant for?
It's a Homeland Security grant program. So she's going to be in to describe what she's going to use it for.
Okay.
All right? I read it and I'm sorry. It escapes me right now. Let's make sure I didn't see anything. No, it doesn't describe it. Mr. Bruner, on committee reports, do you have something that you wish to
Just want
discuss?
to mention on Monday, 2 new pens at the animal shelter and donation from Rural King for bones.
I'm sorry, are those up yet or they're going to be?
Pardon?
Are those built? Couldn't hear you.
She's got the concrete pad and waiting till the weather gets better to
Okay.
put in the rest of it. So
They're already up.
Okay.
I was there yesterday,
Okay,
and the concrete pad and then the pins, and they got them full.
okay, good.
Because she said they had like 30-some dogs,
Yeah, I know.
and they're having to rotate them so they can all of them get a chance to be out during the daytime for
Okay.
exercise. And eventually, they might want to put a roof on it, she
That's what she
said.
said, yeah.
But,
Okay.
yeah, they look nice, and they're utilizing them.
Good. Have 30-some dogs. Yeah.
To tie those 10,000 bones together to form some rudimentary
At least they'll have bones.
outside workspace, yeah.
I don't think they're real bones, but they're probably rawhide. Bones and everything. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions of Mr. Bruner? Andy?
Not a lot. We went around yesterday, I spent most of the day with Smart Walk going around and looking at what they plan on focusing their attention on and doing the energy audit. I think we're probably gonna rework exactly how we approached letting that. I've been advised by the state's attorney that there was almost a clertial error, I guess, misunderstanding that, how to interpret the process that we went through, but I think we may go through some paperwork to redo that process, just to, basically it's paperwork.
Okay.
So who's going to take lead and make sure that gets done? I mean, is the state's attorney gonna rewrite it, or are we gonna get the smart law guys
we'll
to?
We just basically have to do the same thing we did
To
a few
award it,
months ago.
yeah.
And it includes, I guess, Augie, did you make the arrangements to get the ad in the paper?
This is the first I've heard of it
Okay.
officially, Carl.
No, back,
Oh, yes, I did it the last time.
well, we gotta do
Yes.
this again.
Oh, okay,
So we'll
okay.
contact you
I'm good.
and do that for this weekend. And then we've got 14 days, so, and that'll be prior to our next November meeting, so we can revisit this again in November.
And
Okay,
then,
The next,
then do we have to have Aaron look at the
yeah,
proposal
that's the,
and say, gee, it looks okay?
Hi, Billy Ann, thank you.
Thank you.
We're about done.
No, you're not. We've got the state's attorney coming in here in a little bit.
Oh, do
You may need that or
Yes,
stronger.
about that.
But we'll contact you all again and get the process.
And we'll
started.
hold that on the tickler file as far as getting it on the agenda. We'll plan on that, okay?
A lot of it, Landry, talking to Ori with Smart Wallet, a lot of what that law was originally written back in the 80s, they don't do it like that now. There's a different process, and it's posted with the Capital Development Board, and, which wasn't originally, he said originally when they came out with this program, they wanted the companies to come in and do all of the research, and then you could choose based on that, based on the research that they all came in and did. He said, but no one would bid on these contracts, because you'd have to spend hundreds, 100 hours, man hours to do everything, so that it wasn't working. So they changed it, but I guess they didn't change the law, because it still reads like it was originally written in the way that they originally did it, so I'm just gonna do what the state's attorney tells me to do.
So with Smart Watt, I mean, got relayed that, I mean, I saw Ori here this morning, were they like, what the hell? That's kind of where I'm at.
And I'm glad that state's attorney ran into him yesterday and talked to him. He
We were
said,
upstairs,
he goes, we do these all the time, we never go through that process. And he goes, I'm just telling you what the law says. Or he said, we'll just go through the formality again if you want. He goes, it's not a big deal. I said, okay.
he's all right with it.
He's all right.
Yeah, and Ori's gonna keep going, and they're gonna work on their initial stuff.
So we have the tacit understanding that things are going forward, it's just a matter of
It's just a matter
So we
of-
don't
He's
have to rush
operating on
anything.
formality.
Say that again.
You don't need to rush anything. By the next meeting should be okay.
That should be
Right.
fine.
By
Okay.
the next
'Cause
meeting
we
should
could-
be fine, and Ori's continuing
That's
in
fine.
good faith.
Yes.
Well, and based on this kind of strange situation we're in, I would assume that our engineers should be looking at a proposal, which is the same proposal we were given, not an audit, right? Because that's where the law falls.
Right.
Right, so hypothetically, Aaron could be looking at that right now and say, yes, fine.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's nothing for him to look at.
Right.
Right, just those very rough numbers on this, right? That's it.
That's it.
And so,
And there's,
would you like to peruse this, Aaron? It's good stuff.
I assume I do.
It's
Whatever
fine,
the
yeah.
You will.
You should have mine. But that shouldn't be a holdup either.
We're
because that
expanding
can be
your
already-
portfolio, okay?
Stamp that.
If you hadn't
We can
figured
have
that
a
out.
look at it right now. Right, yeah, and we could go ahead, but state's attorney said just go through the deal.
We've been talking about you behind your back. Do you know what's going on?
I filled them out a little bit yesterday.
Oh,
But I did tell you that thermodynamics and circuits, I got C's in.
And that's
Good
fine.
enough. We didn't even take those
You
classes.
passed, didn't you?
C's get
But
degrees.
basically, on the contract, they will come up with, the proposal of everything to do. And it requires an engineer or an architect, it doesn't even certify a PE, to look over the results.
licensed engineer.
Licensed engineer, but is that, okay.
He's a licensed engineer.
Is that the same as a PE, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. Somebody representing the county to look over the proposal and say, makes sense, or it doesn't.
Yeah, you need one
Where-
more thing to do.
Where
Well,
we,
it depends on, it's not, it sounds like the level of investment's not very high, but do they need sealed, stamped and sealed?
no, it does not need to be stamped.
But
They
it
need one of these.
needs a signature.
But where this disagreement is coming in is we all read it as their final proposal, because, they'll do all the engineering study, designs, ideas. And we assume that that's what they wanted looking at. The state's attorney says no, the original agreement before we even hire them to do the drawing, they want somebody to look at. So
Can
We
I,
don't have any hard numbers, they just want your qualifications.
can I suggest that maybe as you're chairman of the committee, you make sure that you get everything that Aaron needs so that he
Yeah.
can feel, we can build his comfort level with what we're trying to do, and it's not a bamboozle job, it's
Right.
just, we're going through a formality that's required by law, okay, that the state's attorney has pointed out to us, okay? Is that correct?
Yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off, it just,
Fine.
do you have anything else, Andy?
That's it.
Now, you do have to start dealing with the elevator. There's no time limit on that, but obviously, the sooner the better.
Smart Walk deals with a lot of different aspects of engineers and people that do elevator work. And he said he's gonna shed some light on a couple of companies that he thinks that they've worked with that might help us.
You know, restoration, engineering, and so forth. I'm sure they're out there, because with the public preservation acts, they have to be.
Right.
Because, you know, in order to move forward on projects, especially if there's a designation, you can't do it without certifications, so.
Well, there was an interesting thing said, and it may not affect this overall, but their head of engineering was there and mentioned, you know, a lot of times the protections that go into those buildings that are an exterior only, spice and interior, so that might have some effect on the conversation, but I thought that was interesting.
Okay.
I was also glad to see one of their engineers that was around has spent a lot of time working with prisons over the years. Was actually a prison guard in the military before he became an engineer, and is very familiar with the needs for them, so, you know, given the history of our jail, it's nice to see somebody with a little expertise looking at it.
Jeff, I wouldn't mind making a quick
Please.
comment, even though I know almost nothing about this.
You need to speak up so we can hear you, sir.
Just want to make a quick observation or recommendation to the board. Although I've not seen anything and have no idea what I'm talking about, I would encourage you, if you're doing a request for proposals for architectural engineering services for an elevator at the courthouse, that you maybe make one of the criteria be demonstrate some track record in like a community facilities grant.
Well noted. I think that
I would-
has been discussed.
Yeah.
Obviously, hiring somebody without a track record and, you know, like pre-approved, you know, is important.
There's a lot of good engineers, but I don't know how, if there's a lot of good grants. It was
Well, that's why we're talking about, yeah. Very good.
just a recommendation.
Phil?
Nothing.
John? How's those drainage ditches?
Not flowing fast enough.
All right. Carl?
Nothing.
Think we hit what we needed to hit? And then finally, well, not finally, Derek?
Friday is game day for the letting, so we should know by, I think, Barry said 10 o'clock what the answer is, and I'll let us know electronically. But based on those bidding, he was pretty happy that we should get a compliment, get a good price. So, that's it.
Okay. I have another thing for the board to, this morning I talked to the insurance agents about our general liability policy and our work comp policy. And the insurance committee is gonna have to get together with Bushu and our insurance company over here at Diamond Brothers. We do have, the insurance company, we just got notified, so I couldn't get this to you because I've only known for like an hour. We have a rather substantial increase in our general liability policy because of some lawsuits that are sitting out there, which I don't want to get into because that's inappropriate. But the insurance company, I want you to be aware, is trying, just like they do with our health insurance, trying to negotiate that increase down. And we need to get together with Bushu and everything to figure out why we're dealing with this now and not 2 months ago. Because, you know, levies are set, not that they can't be changed, but I need to take a look at it. Work comp, we had an increase of about $40,000 in payroll between last year and this year. So that's part of the increase. It's like $6,000 increase. Not terrible. But we also, I questioned them, and you need to be aware that obviously we had a accident where a citizen hits one of our employees, and we had rather extensive payments. And my question to them was, why are you going after us for increasing our policy when you should be going after that person that caused the accident? So, but they said that we would be credited back, but in the meantime, bills have to be paid. But I don't want to get too deep in the weeds of that because I don't want to violate HIPAA laws and everything else, but I'm just generally describing what we're talking about. So, Augie was there with me, and we all thought it would be best that we turn it over to the committee and you take a look at it. I know you've got another, maybe some of the people are on the committee that are on the other committee, and you can have a dual committee when you get together and maybe get them in, they're available. Okay? Did I make that clear enough? So, any questions on that without me getting too carried away? Okay, the letters, we have letters that'll go out yet this week to the other areas that are currently not being served by the ambulance, current ambulance service, to ascertain their interest in being part of or not being part of our current system so that we can move forward with that. We also have things to come up, especially levels of deputies and jailers authorized by the board. That's provided by law. Get that to the state's attorney, and that'll be a December issue. Let's see.
Has that already been sent to the state attorney?
No, it has not. I need to talk to you before I do it, and talk to the sheriff. No, I would not. I just am setting up the form, and then we'll go from there. Okay? And that's, I'm sure that there's some little things, not little things, but there's other things going on that we'll keep up with. So, do you have any questions of me? I talked about the current budget. You know, looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a surplus, and we'll do our thing as far as the bell tower payments, and do the things we need to do to take care of our obligations there, and a lot of positive things, actually. I mean, we're trying to fix some problems, but, I mean, things are running, everybody's working together well, and I appreciate it, so, thank you. Is there anything else to come before the meeting?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that it's the 11th month and 7th day for the 18th year. That's all I have. 11, 7's 18.
I appreciate that. I would entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation, personnel, anything else we need to, Mark, is there anything else that we need to include in that?
Acquiring or selling land, is that anything you want to discuss?
No, that's coming up at the, that's one thing. I'll back up just a second before we make the motion. That was one thing I had on here and I forgot. Hopefully that bank agreement, based on what you've heard the engineers say, will be completed. You're gonna take the lead, to double check with the state's attorney to make sure we're all up to date on that.
Yes.
Okay? All right. Now, I guess it's just personnel and pending litigation. Do I have a motion to go into closed session on that?
So
Derek moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We need to get set up for the meeting, it'll just be a couple of minutes, okay? Gary, do you have any questions that you have my phone number, so.
I think you need to call.
No.
I don't think Dan
On
called
the
it yet.
19th, at 4:30, there's gonna be another study.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question, Derek.
the status of the arbitrator, and how much longer we're gonna have to wait for that answer.
The deadline for everything, all the attorneys getting everything to the arbitrator, I think was the 25th or 26th. He extended that to the 31st. So you count out 60 days from the 26th is when the arbitrator has to let us know, both sides.
26th of November, October, November.
Okay, the 26th of October. So that'd be basically the day after Christmas. But, roughly. But the arbitrator insists that he will have a ruling rather quickly. He is not gonna take the full 60 days,
Okay, that's interesting.
okay? So they had, remember I told you they had a discussion, the attorneys and the arbitrator. There was some pauses and you're kiddings and stuff like that, and then the arbitrator said, you guys can have through the 31st, I'm not gonna, you can have some of my time, cause I already pretty much know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, that sounds
Okay.
good. Okay.
That's all I know. I don't know whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, but that's what I'm told. Anyway, anybody have anything else to good for the board, or entertain a motion to adjourn then, gentlemen? Derek moves,
Second.
and Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're carried.